Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a brand new Shop My Stash for you, and I'm gonna do things totally different this year. So I did a full year of Shop My Stash last year where every month I picked a selection of products in my collection that I wanted to focus on for that month. And it was really great. I learned a lot and I really enjoyed it. I found that it gave me a new appreciation of my collection, and I want to continue forward with that this year, but I did find myself towards the end of the year getting a little bit bored with Shop My Stash, and so I decided to change it up, and I was inspired by Samantha Ravndal. I saw her do like seasonal Shop My Stash where she curated sort of a winter collection, and I was really inspired by that. So I have a lot of products in my collection that feel very seasonal to me. So I have ones that I use sort of year round, and then I have ones that feel very winter, or they feel very spring, or they feel very fall. So I decided, rather than curating a basket every single month, what I want to do this year is do a seasonal basket. So because I live in Canada and our seasons are a little crazy, I was sitting down and I was trying to decide, okay, if I do winter Shop My Stash in January, when do I do spring? And I was trying to sort of plan it out, and I decided the answer is I do it when the season feels as though it has changed. So rather than doing like winter now and spring, say in March or April, spring for us might not be till May. And that's just the reality of where I live. So because I have certain products in my collection that I want to sort of focus on for each season, I'm going to give myself full liberty to redo the basket when I see fit. So all that being said, let's dive into the products that I have chosen for winter 2020. I have also just reorganized my entire makeup collection. I got a bunch of these little acrylic baskets rather than the long skinny baskets that I had before. I rearranged some things, so if you'd like to see a makeup collection tour of that new reorganization, let me know. I was going to film the process, but I got way too excited and I just did it. So let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see like a reveal of my reorganized makeup collection, but let's dive into the products. So I've got this little acrylic basket in front of me, and this is going to be my Shop My Stash items aside from the palettes that I've chosen. So these are products that specifically feel wintry to me, or ones that I find in the summer I'm like, oh, I can't wear that, that's for winter. Do you know what I mean? So I've got 4 lippies in here that feel very wintry to me, or also that are suited to my skin tone in the winter. So first, I have the Urban Decay Back Talk. This is a favorite of mine. It's a great color for me this time of year. It's sort of that rosy, cool tone pink, very complementary to my fair skin tone. This is a color that I can wear with really any look, so I wanted to include it in the basket because it will be a very easy go-to color. Another one in that same family is by Bite Beauty. This is one of their lip crayons. This is one of their matte crayons. It's in that same color family, but it's a bit darker. Oops. It's a bit darker than the Back Talk, and I find even though it's matte, it's very comfortable to wear. And then I also have the Becca lipstick in Taupe. This is a good sort of neutral winter shade for me. It's a bit darker, a little bit more brown in tone. And then lastly, I have the e.l.f. Mineral Lip Gloss in the color Night Owl. And again, it's kind of in that same, I'm doing a lot in that sort of color family, but I find that's what I tend to reach for this time of year. You can see it right there. So those are the lippies that I'm going to focus on for the winter. Now I've got a couple of highlighters in here. I've got the Milk Makeup highlighter stick in Supernova, and these sort of iridescent cool toned shades, I'm running out of room, I find I can only wear, I don't know if you guys can see that, I find I can really only wear this time of year when I'm very fair. In the summer when I have more of a tan, they just look a little bizarre on my skin tone. So Also in that same kind of color family, I have by Dirty Little Secret one of their baked highlighters, and this is in the color Bellini, but it's very, very cool toned pink. And again, I really just don't reach for this in the summertime. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's very light, but it's sort of a pink color. So I thought those would be some good sort of highlights to focus on. Make sure I'm getting some use out of them, and if I find that they're in my Shop My Stash and I'm still not really using them, then maybe they don't belong in my collection. And then I do have a single eyeshadow here. This is one of the Ace Beauty Glimmer Shadows, and this is in the color French Vanilla, but it's a very beautiful, very shimmery silver. Holy smokes. I'm running out of room on my hand here, guys. But this is a great, like, you can put it on the inner corner. You can tap it over the whole lid by itself. Oh, I stuck my finger in the lip gloss. Right there. You can tap it over an eye look. It's really, really beautiful. These are very similar in formulation to the ColourPop Super Shock shadows, which I really enjoy. So I found I really didn't reach for this at all in the summertime because it's so cool toned, so silvery. I thought I might get a lot more use out of it during the winter season. And then I have some palettes. So these are 3 palettes in my collection that I find myself making excuses for reasons not to use them. So I wanted to include these in my Shop My Stash. A, they feel like winter palettes to me, and B, do I want to keep these? These are sort of of all of my palettes, these are like the 3 palettes that I'm sort of on the fence about, and I always kind of think of them as winter palettes, but then I also don't find myself really reaching for them a lot in the winter. So I wanted to challenge myself to try and create some more looks with these. So first I've got the Pure Cosmetics Smoky Collection. This was gifted to me from a friend. And it's very cool toned. There's lots of purples and sort of very cool toned neutrals. There's actually only one matte color in this palette. The rest are all either shimmers or metallics. But because I'm doing a seasonal Shop My Stash, I'm not limiting myself to just what's in this Shop My Stash. I'm gonna have other products that I can work with. So it's a good time to try and use this palette because I can reach for other mattes to make this work and decide if I really love this or not. There are colors in this that I really love, but I have to decide, is there 2 or 3 colors in here that I love? And is that the reason I'm keeping this palette? Or is it time to pass it on to someone who could show it a little bit more love? I'm also including the Smashbox Double Exposure palette. This was also gifted to me at Christmas time from a client a couple of years ago. I also feel like this is quite a wintry palette. We've got some navies and some purples over here that are very cool toned, and then just some neutrals over here. I'm not the hugest fan of these Smashbox eyeshadows, but I know when I got this, I loved this. I was obsessed with it. I used it every day. So I want to decide if I still feel that way, and I do think there's some fun looks that I could create with this, especially using like my little silver single eyeshadow could be really fun. And then lastly, I had gotten this Morphe palette in a BoxyCharm. This is the 15N Nightmaster palette. I actually have this one on my eyes today. I just did a little bit of this shimmer called Talent, and then this color here called Selfie just in the crease. So you can create a lot of really easy looks with this, but because you've got these sort of dark purpley plum tones, this always feels very wintry to me. So I think, again, I want to see what kind of looks can I create with this. A lot of these have similar colors in them, so I thought that these all might pair well together as well. So I'm keeping my little basket with all the sort of single items down here on my desk with the rest of my everyday items. And then I'm going to keep these 3 palettes right front and center in front of me here on the table. So basically whenever I'm like in a rush and doing my makeup quick, these are the products that I'm gonna reach for instead of like going through my palettes, like which palette do I want to use today? What look do I want to create? It's like, okay, I'm in a hurry. We're gonna grab the Double Exposure palette. We're gonna do a quick look, out the door, go to work. So that's sort of my thought process in the products that I chose. All of these colors work well together between what's in this basket and what's in those palettes. So I think this could be a really fun challenge. I'm excited to sort of switch up the way that I'm doing things this year. I really want to focus on using the things that I have and put less emphasis on getting new things and getting excited about new things when I have beautiful products already in my collection. So that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.